101. Look.
I feel like we shouldn't accept them.
I'm going to. I don't give a damn.
I feel like they're just gonna. Oh, there it stopped.
It's ours. I'll give it
First stop with an outline. Finish another minute and we'll be done.
Let's do something else.
It looks really good.
Aww.
I love that.
That's perfect.
Oh, look at it.
My rental car is the same as my actual car. Dropped off my car to get it repaired from the accident on Friday night. What's really good is the shop that I dropped it off, they actually will give you a rental, so it like cuts out that middleman, because I've had a horrible experience with a rental company. Like a year and a half ago, I got rear-ended and my car was in the shop, and there had to be an extension on how long the repairs were taking, and the insurance company, I guess, wasn't communicating with the rental car company, and the rental car company charged my credit card like $400, and their reply to me was, well, somebody had to pay for it. I became incensed, lost my shit. Last thing I remember saying to them people was, I'm gonna get my money. You know, I'm gonna get my money back. I just think it's funny because I keep forgetting that, like, this isn't my car. I'm waiting for my order from Logan's. I had some leftover boneless wings from Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday, and I decided that I needed to get some things to pair with that. So I've been craving mozzarella sticks. I haven't had mozzarella sticks in like a year for whatever reason. There's no reason. I've been craving fried cheese. I got a house salad because their house salads are really good. I like their croutons and honey mustard dressing from Logan's. And then I got, their rolls are really good. I think that's it. I'm outside of, I don't even know if it's showing it, but I'm outside of Petco because I went inside there to try and look for litter boxes, because Danny and I are going to Portland next weekend, just for the weekend, for my Natalie Merchant concert that I've been looking so forward to for the last few months. And I would have gotten an automatic litter box, but I haven't read reviews and I'm unsure about them, and I don't want to buy something I'm not sure about, especially something that's automatic, and then have my first time using it be actually when I'm out of town. I just imagine a cat getting caught in it and losing a limb or something. I don't know. So my plan is we're just going to be gone for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, coming back on Monday. So I was just going to get an extra couple of litter boxes, basically. We don't board them with the vet because I feel like that would be traumatic. My cats have never been boarded, and they're 9 years old. So, that's just the plan. And I'm going to put out, I've got, this gigantic automatic waterer, and then, I'm going to put out, 2 huge, bowls, big mixing bowls of, dry food. I don't know. That's just what we're doing. The girl brings out my to-go drink, and it should be in a medium-sized cup, but then she brings out these 2 little baby cups and puts one on top of each other, and she's like, I'm out of the larger cup, so here, no, I'm gonna need a refund because I don't want to deal with that. And she's like, let me see if I can. And I was like, you will? She goes and gets a manager, and he comes out and he's like, what's going on? He's like, we actually do have regular sized cups. And I'm like, okay, can you get me? What the fuck am I gonna do with 2 little baby cups? Just no. Look at all my zits. I have a dermatology appointment on Monday afternoon to see what they can do about this situation on my face. It's mainly like on the right side in this section. I'm off work, waiting for Hungry Howie's, who, by the way, has the best sandwiches. They've got these baked subs that are amazing. So what I do is I get a large baked sub and a drink, and then I go like just down the street to Slotsky's that has got jalapeno chips, which are so good. So that's what I'm doing tonight. And then I have these like sweet and spicy pickles at home. Archer Farms brand from Target. They're alright. They're kind of growing on me. So I've got those like little pickle spears. And that's going to be dinner. Car repair place called, and my car is already fixed. I've had this rental car for 2 days. Like, this is the best experience I've ever had. Like, this car shop has rental cars. So you drop your car off, they put you in a rental car, and you're on your way. And 2 days later, my shit is fixed. Also, I've been Googling YouTube videos for things to do in Portland. I've already kind of been doing some research online. Oh, my hand is, my arm is sore from holding this. I was like watching videos for things to do in Portland in case I don't come across it online in my research. And then I was also researching Seattle videos, like pros and cons to moving there, because Danny has got his phone interview tonight with a company in Seattle. So I'm just kind of looking at videos of things that people are saying that are good things and then bad things about Seattle. One thing that I saw in a couple videos that I watched over lunch was a couple videos are talking about the Seattle freeze. And basically, for anybody that doesn't know, which I kind of like vaguely heard about before, but like I didn't really hear about it too much. But the Seattle freeze, I guess, is basically talks about how it's hard to meet people in Seattle. People aren't very talkative, and strangers don't really go out of their way to get to know you, and people see that as a negative, but I'm just like, yes, I don't talk to strangers. Some other things I was hearing about was like the traffic, which it's a major city, so of course, and they're also having a boom in construction. So that's all, you know, a lot of people are moving there. I did hear it was a good place for families, and Dana are trying to have kids. One kid. Also, I found a new podcast, new true crime podcast, because that's what I'm into these days. Once Upon a Crime, I had heard of it, but I looked it up today and I've listened to several episodes already. One of the first ones was on Brenda Spencer, which I only found out, like, I didn't know who she was. But apparently, she committed the first school shooting, even though she wasn't, like, in a school. She was across the street from a school at her house, shooting at elementary school students. I learned about that because I was taking a class on homicide, and I was, like, writing a paper, which I had to rewrite. But in my research, I learned about her, and I'm like, how have I never heard about this before? But it was in the 70s, and it's pretty fascinating, Brenda Spencer. And then another episode was on this McDonald's shooting, which I think is the second largest mass shooting in the country, in U.S. history. 21 people. I don't know if they died or were wounded, but anyways, the McDonald's massacre in Southern California. I was like, how have I never heard of this one either? Pretty good podcast so far. Pretty solid. One of the better ones I've heard, because there was another one today I tried out, and it was just like semi-intolerable. It was called the I can't remember the exact name, but it was something like True Crime Brewery, where I think it's like, well, it's like a husband and wife podcast team, and like they're so flat and like not interesting to listen to at all. In fairness, I only tried to listen to one episode, but it was like hard to get. I didn't even finish it. I had to stop. I was like, oh, so boring. Another one that's pretty good is, crap, what's it called? True Crime Guys, I think. It's these two friends in Las Vegas that have a true crime podcast. And they're pretty interesting. Like, the intro music is kind of like 90s, which I'm like a fan of because I grew up in the 90s. And they kind of have, like, not an inappropriate sense of humor, but like they come at it kind of from a sense of humor. There's so many. There's a lot. I mean, it's like booming right now. There's so many true crime podcasts, and there are some that are good and some that are not so good. One that is my favorite, it's not true crime, but it's like kind of can be true crime depending on how they died, but it's a celebrity deaths podcast called The Last Ovation. Love it. It is so well done. From the narration to the music to the subject matter, all of that. They even did an episode on my beloved Jonathan Brandis. So I knew it was going to be good from the get-go. Yeah, so I was at the checkout counter. Well, when I was in the aisle with the litter boxes, I noticed that this woman had a cat in her cart. I think it had a harness on, might have had a leash or something like that. And when she got ready to leave, she had like stuff in her cart, and she was getting ready to take her cat out of the cart to go back out to her car. And the cat kind of like clung onto her and looked like it was about to run. And there is a busy ass road. Like, this road is so fucking dangerous where I live. That's the road that I got rear-ended on last Friday. And pedestrians are forever being hit and killed. Like, hit and run. Like, last weekend there was a hit and run on this street. But anyway, like, the whole store was watching this woman with her cat, like, holding their breath, like, because if that cat bolted, like, it could be a bad situation. So I like, okay, I am like the least extroverted, like, here, let me let you, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Like, if someone is in need of help, like, I'm a human being, and, like, I genuinely, like, care if a person or an animal needs help. But otherwise, like, I'm just like, don't talk to me, don't look at me. But I was, like, watching her, because I was going to offer to help her out to her car, because, like, animals are my heart. And, like, I cannot stand if an animal gets hurt. So I was like, let me help you out because I foresee a tragedy. I just got my pickup order from Red Robin. Right as I walked out the door, there was this couple that went out before me. The guy straight up stood in front of me and, like, farted and didn't even care. Just walk outside to go to lunch and it downpours. The one thing about Seattle that I read about is that it doesn't really storm so much as it just drizzles and has, like, constant cloud cover, like, over 200 days out of the year. I would miss a good storm. I mean, I'm sure it storms sometimes, but rain like this is nice sometimes. I was listening to Pandora this morning, and I found this, I don't know if it's like a band or what, but like the name of the group that's singing it's called the Venetian Snares. and the song is called Colorless. And I don't know if it's just sounds or if they're like singing in a different language other than English, but it sounds like they're recording in a church or something with like acoustics, or like in a cave or something. And it almost kind of sounds like monks chanting, but it's like women and men. And then it's got this like constant volume, or like constant, what's the word, like stream of music, or like stream of voices. And then at certain points during the song, it's got like lower ones that kind of just like float below that sound, and then they've got like higher voices at times that kind of fly above that sound. It is so pretty, but it's such a short song. I literally have it on repeat. I found it on Pandora, like I said, and then I have Amazon Music, so I searched it and it had that song on there. And it's really cool to listen to it really loud in the car, but it's so pretty. So I always like finding new music, and I don't ever listen to the radio, and every so often I'll find a popular song that I'm like, oh, that's a good song, and I'll listen to it. But I have no idea what's going on in popular music. I haven't since like my early 20s. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I haven't purposely shunned popular music and all of that, but for whatever reason, like, it just fell out of favor with me, and I just don't seek it out, and I just find things I like. But like, I remember when that Hozier song, Take Me to Church, came out, I liked that. And then I liked Sia, Chandelier. Those are the two that come to mind. I think I probably liked more than that. Like, I resisted Lady Gaga for the longest, but I am a fan. So tell me why every time I walk in a Moe's, I come out feeling like a mutant. My big ass burrito that I always get, that everybody always needs to have a fucking conversation about. This mother and her son in front of me, and the son's just like, whoa, that's gonna be hard to wrap. And I'm like, no, shit, leave me alone, kid. And the mother's like, yeah, like, I couldn't work here. I couldn't wrap a burrito like that. And I was just like, can we not? I wanna get the fuck out of here. And then the guy got done wrapping it. He hands it off to the other guy to put it in the bag with my chips, and he's like, here's the fetus. God damn, like, can I live? And fun fact, when I was a kid, so earlier today it rained, and I was like sitting in my car, and it was like really, really loud. And it made me remember when I was a kid, we were living in Japan, and my parents, we got to our house and they had to run in for a second, and they were coming right back out. So they left us in the car while they ran and grabbed something from the house. And then I was in the car. I think my little sister, who was probably like a baby then, was in the car with me. And it was raining so loud on the car. And to me as a child, that sound horrified me. Also, car washes. When I would, my family would go through a car wash, I would wail because I was terrified of the sound. Like, but as an adult, I love it. I love car washes. Like, I love the smell of car washes, and I like the rain. I don't care if I'm in a car or in a house or whatever. Like, I love the sound of rain, and it doesn't bother me, but I just think that's so funny, like, the things that you're scared of when you're a kid. So, I just picked up my prescriptions for my face. I don't know if I said already, but I went and saw a physician's assistant yesterday at the dermatologist, and he basically said that I do have like cystic acne, and it flared up again after I got off the pill. When I was on the pill, it was pretty much under control and my skin looked great. But since I'm off of it because I'm trying to get pregnant, and there's really nothing you can do for cystic acne, there's really not a lot you can put on it that's going to make any difference. He prescribed me a couple of things anyway. He said it might make a tiny bit of difference. I'm going to try it because on the off chance that it works for me, it can't hurt at this point. But the great news is that after we have our baby and done with all of that, I can go on Accutane, which I had heard about before, and I'd heard scary things about it before. I had heard that it makes people suicidal. That's really the main thing I heard about it. And obviously, if you get pregnant when you're on it, you like will get severe birth defects. Like, it will fuck you and your baby up. You know, just you have to just use, like, I'd have to go on the pill, and then, you know, use another form of birth control as well, just to ensure that you're locked up tight. He said that the Accutane has a 95% cure rate. Like, cure rate. It cures your acne because I guess from what he says, it shrinks the oil glands. And then they really just don't come back like they were. So, I'm going to be doing that. Most insurances will cover it as well. So, in the future, I'm going to be doing that because I was concerned about going back on birth control after I have my baby because I don't know when I'm going to get pregnant. I don't know how long all that's going to take, and I'm already 31. And I remember when I first went on birth control, there were like warnings for women over 35 taking birth control because it can increase your chances of cancer. And the physician assistant said it lowers your chance of uterine cancer, I think, and then maybe breast cancer it increases, or I don't know, it increases your chances of other kinds of cancer. So I'm just like, erythromycin topical gel, and then Sulfa Cleanse. I have to say that the physician's assistant did say that the stories about people being suicidal and Accutane, they're myths, I guess. There's like no evidence to support that claim, so I should be fine. Also, yesterday he was trying to tell me that basically, like, for my kind of acne, since I can't take anything orally, like no oral antibiotics, and I thought I heard something. Can't take Accutane yet, and I can't be on birth control when I'm trying to get pregnant. He's like, yeah, you're really limited. He tried to like sell me some $200 like blue light treatment. No. Tropical Smoothie has a really good like parking lot area that's under some, I don't know if those are crepe myrtle trees or what, but it's nice because I just parked my car here and I have some shade because I don't have any window tint yet. So this is pretty nice because in Florida, like right now, it's set, my car says it's 90 degrees, but you know, it feels a lot hotter than that. I don't know if it'll show up, but I got my blue contacts in the mail last night. I got 6 months of clear contacts, because I can't be without my clear contacts. And then I got 6 months of my blue contacts. If I'm blind as hell, I might as well have fun with it. I need to get more. I have not bought glasses though, because I'm mainly a contact lens wearer. I usually wear my glasses like at night after I take my contacts out, like before bed. But I like glasses. I really need to. I think I would wear them more if I had like more cute ones. And I haven't bought glasses since I think it's been like 6 years. My lunch break today. I'm just earlier I've been on the hunt for restaurants in Portland because we leave in like 2 days. Just Wednesday now. We leave on Friday. So I'm looking for restaurants. So I'm trying to plan, you know, like what we're going to eat once we get there. And then check-ins, I think, around 3. And we're staying at the Campton Hotel Vintage Portland, I think it's called. It's really nice. It's very close to the Oregon Zoo, which is where the Natalie Merchant concert is going to be. So everything is really, really close. We can walk to a lot of stuff. I really would love to walk. I mean, I feel like walking, you really get to know the area better. You can kind of like stop into places. So even though it's in a weekend, I'm wanting to make the most of it. So I don't want to plan every single second, but I want to have a plan for each day, but leave room to relax and to kind of happen upon some things. So there's one restaurant that I think it's, what's it called? I wrote it down. But it's like Portland Bistro or Portland Cafe or something. It's the 30th floor in a building that supposedly has views of the Cascade Mountains and the city. I think we definitely need to go there. So hopefully I can make reservations. If we decide, I'm going to go home and kind of present some options to Danny. He really doesn't care. He's like letting me plan the whole thing because he doesn't care. But I'm going to run some options by him and then make some reservations tonight because I don't want a chance, you know, not being able to get in somewhere. I think I've mentioned before that I'm an extremely paranoid person. Our apartments are gated, and I feel pretty safe. I mean, I think for the most part, people there are like, I don't know my neighbors, but I think everybody, I know it's really quiet, and they stay to themselves typically. So I think that they're like, as far as I know, decent people. But I hate it when it's like nighttime and I'm out walking my dog. Usually there's nobody around, usually. But sometimes like you have that awkward situation where like the complex is lit pretty well, except with the exception of like on the sides of the buildings. Actually, I think I really need to mention that. On the sides of the building, there's no lighting. So I'll walk my dog like in front of my building and then I'll cross over and then go behind a building which has lighting behind the building, but then on the side where there's a lot of bushes and things, like I hate going over there, but my dog will poop over there and I want him to poop, so I just kind of try and quickly go past that area so he can poop and then be done. So last night I was coming out of that area and this guy, I mean it's dark, but I think I've seen him before, and I don't know my neighbors, but I think I've seen him out smoking before. But I get panicky when I feel, I don't know, I know logically that it's likely that nothing is going to happen, but I get panicky because I'm alone with my dog, it's at night, I don't know this guy, and he's walking towards me. So, I don't want to make it obvious that I'm, like, scared, but, so it's like, I have that, like, I have, like, a second to decide, okay, am I going to keep walking, like, past this guy and just be ultra aware, or do I, like, make it obvious that I'm, like, scared and, like, quickly move the other way, which my dog, like, he'll just freeze where he's at. Like, it's hard to get him to move. And so I don't want to, like, choke him by, like, pulling on the leash, but I'm just, like, I'm trying to, like, quickly get him past, and he's a greyhound, and he draws attention. I swear, every time I take him out and I walk past somebody, they're like, oh, is that a greyhound? And they want to, like, talk to you and ask questions, and that's what this guy did. And it was, like, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just, like, trying to get inside and, like, not want to have a conversation with this guy about my dog, because I don't know what people's intentions are, and I'm always thinking, okay, well, if something goes down, like, what do I do? I mean, I've got my keys, but, like, they're in my purse. I could, like, hit the panic button on my car that's, like, out there parked. I can scream, but likely, I don't know, just all these things are going through my head. So, I'm walking past him, and he's like, oh, is that a greyhound? I'm like, yeah, like, as I'm, like, trying to get Louie to move faster and, like, get past this guy. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, does he race? And I was like, oh, no, he's retired. And I'm, like, hurrying past this guy, and he's just, like, standing there, like, watching us. And I'm sure, like, for him, he's thinking nothing of it. Like, he's probably lived there a while. He was just out for a smoke and, like, saw a cool dog. But I'm just like, yeah, cool. And I'm like, you know, I'm not making it obvious that, like, I'm just watching to make sure he's staying where he is, but as I'm walking him, I'm just kind of, as I'm walking my dog, I'm just kind of, like, looking out the corner of my eye, just make sure he's not following me, and he wasn't, like, everything was fine. But you just never know, and I just feel like if you ever let your guard down too much, it's going to be that one time that something is going to happen.